Probably better known as Saffron Olive. Need some spicy Time Spiral Remastered reprints, maybe some cool old border cards? Well, you can pre-order Time Spiral Remastered now from our sponsor Card Kingdom by heading over to cardkingdom.com. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Abrew About Nothing. And this week, we are checking out our new post-ban Pioneer format with some Mono Blue Devotion, but not just any Mono Blue Devotion. We are comboing with Master of Waves Mystic Reflection in a Mono Blue Devotion shell. So, is Pioneer good now? Is the meta diverse? Is the deck good? Let's talk about it real quick. Jump into the games and find out. Alright, so here is our Mono Blue Devotion deck, and you might remember something kind of similar from Modern on stream a couple weeks ago. This is essentially the Pioneer build of Mono Blue Devotion with Master of Waves Mystic Reflection combo. So the plan of the deck, first, we make a bunch of mana with Nykthos. That's kind of the key idea of the deck. Leyline of Anticipation, mostly free blue mana symbols to pump up Nykthos, but Flash can be helpful against control, or sometimes we ambush something in combat. Then we have just a bunch of like tricky bounce type creatures that slow our opponent down and add blue mana symbols to the battlefield. So all these cards are not going to permanently remove a creature, but they kind of annoy our opponent, bounce their stuff, put them off curve a little bit, while also upping our mana for Nykthos. Then we have some card draw. Spectral Sailor, Omen of the Sea, just churn through our deck. Sometimes we can draw multiple times a turn with Spectral Sailor once we get Nykthos going. As far as winning the game, we have two plans. One is, we can just make a ton of mana with Nykthos, draw a ton of cards with Gadwick, and then theoretically win with Thassa Oracle's ETB trigger. The other plan, and maybe more exciting plan, Master Waves Mystic Reflection combo, Master token trigger on the stack, target it with Mystic Reflection. All the tokens are Master of Waves, which each make a ton of tokens, so it's an easy way to add, like, I don't know, 100, 200, 500 power to the battlefield, depending on our blue mana symbols, for the low cost of 5 or 6 mana, depending on whether we foretold our Mystic Reflection. Mana base, Glasspool Mimic, another way to copy our stuff, especially good with Flash, Islands, Nykthos, sideboard, a bunch of counters, the best removal we can muster in blue, bunch of stuff for red decks, because Burn's really popular, and that is Mono Blue Devotion for Pioneer. That's our budget brew deck for this week, so let's jump into our league, see if Pioneer is all of a sudden awesome and good again, and see if the deck is good. So, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoy the games, and I'll be back in a bit with a wrap-up. Alright, Much Abrew About Nothing time. We are trying some new post-banning Pioneer today with Mono Blue Devotion, and it's fine. We don't have a Nykthos, which Nykthos is kind of the best card in the deck, but still. Well, Island, go. Opponent, what you up to? Alright, some sort of is it control tempo style deck, I assume. Well, Glasspool, sure. Hit ya. Opponent, Spire Bluff, Canal, and passes. Play an Island, go to combat, hit ya for 1. Pass the turn. Spire Bluff, Canal. Champion of Wits. Yeah, let's, yeah, I guess that's fine. Sure. Opponent gets to go looting. So this is probably some sort of God Pharaoh's gift deck, I guess? Would be my guess. Well, let's run out Trickster. I think we do want to keep developing our board. Untap. Nykthos. Island. Well, play the land. Go to combat. Attack you. Down to 15 past the turn. Oh, it's an emerge deck. Interesting. Opponent goes to combat. Passes. Phoenix. Sure. Phoenix is fine. We know we just bounce it. I'll draw a card. Dig for Nykthos. Omen's decent. Play the land. Play Baron. Bounce Rekindling Phoenix. Hit ya. Down to 14 past the turn. Mountain. Kozilek's Return. That's pretty annoying. Okay. Opponent passing. Well, Omen of the Sea. Bottom the Borrower. We'll keep the Spectral Sailor. At least it's card advantage. It's not what we want, but it's a way to draw cards. Oh, we get all of them. All right, well, pass the turn. Spectral Sailor is also not the worst thing to target with. Also not the worst thing to target with a Mystic Reflection. Opponent discards a Flame Wake Phoenix. Okay, so opponent gets a Rekindling Phoenix, sort of. But we will bounce it. Opponent plays a tap land. Well, we'll see how many sweepers they got. Run out Brazen Borrower. Run out Spectral Sailor. Go to untap. Hit ya. Down to 10. Pass the turn. Opponent. Glory Bringer. Now, let's Mystic Reflection, Spectral Sailor. Opponent gets a 1/1. Steam Vents, tapped. Oh, draw a card. Ooh, there's Gadwick. Oh, come on, dig those. Come on, dig those. Mimic. Well, we will Gadwick. X3. Draw some cards. Play the land. Attack. Opponent gonna block. Drops to 9. Opponent. Worried about this Kozilek's return coming back from the graveyard. Rekindling Phoenix returns. Opponent. Are we getting back Flamewake Phoenix? Yes. Okay. So opponent can't emerge this turn, right? I don't believe so. So opponent hits us. Down to 18. Shard of Course to draw a couple cards. Well, we will Spectral Sailor. Tap Rekindling Phoenix. Untap. Nykthos. Draw a card. Ooh. I do kind of like that. Draw a card. Go to combat. Hit ya. Pass the turn. Mystic Reflection is pretty big deal, I think. Opponent's down to 4. They need a sweeper. They really need a sweeper. Opponent attacks with both. Feeling confident, I guess, with the beatdowns. Down to 12. Stomps a Spectral Sailor. Okay, stomps a Spectral Sailor. Plays Bone Crusher. Well, alright. Omen of the Sea. Tap down Bone Crusher. Opponent has Stubborn Denial, alright. Well, we untap. Real card. Oh, another land! That's bad. That's real bad. I'll go to combat. Hit you for 1. Oh, we have just flooded to the max. Opponent is out of cards, though, and they're at 1 life. So our opponent still needs to top deck. Pass the turn. All right. Does our opponent top deck? That's the question. Oh, we have drawn a ridiculous amount of lands. What's the 1 card for the turn? Opponent going to get back Champion of Wits. All right, so our opponent's not going for lethal. They get to draw some cards, discard some cards. All right, hopefully we stop drawing lands. Opponent, tap land. I think we can kill our opponent. Another Flame Wake. Okay. All right, opponent's tapped out. That's fine. So now we get to Mystic Reflection, Flame Wake Phoenix. Just so we can tap down Rekindling Phoenix. Opponent attacks. Yeah, they have to attack, so we go to 8. But now we get to scry, bottom, and yeah, I guess that's fine. Bottom and top. Untap. Harbinger of Tides. Tap down Bone Crusher Giant. Bounce Rekindling Phoenix. Glasspool Mimic. Tap down Champion of Wits. Whew! All right, that was close. That was super close. We managed to dodge some of the biggest blowouts, but that was not bad. That was not bad. And now, what do we want? Ether Gust seems good. Stuff that dies to Stomp seems less good. The other good news in this matchup is our opponent probably can't kill a Master of Waves if we can resolve it. Maybe we go down the ley lines. Go down the ley lines for counters, I think. So ley lines down. Maybe go down a Trickster. Go up 2 Mystical Disputes. And maybe a Wizard's Retort? Try it like that. Well, I mean, we know what we're playing for, which is we're playing for Master of Waves. Master of Waves is a card that if we can resolve it with a reasonable board state, it should just win us the game. We're gonna keep this. It's more okay than great, but it's okay enough. Yeah, let's just play a Shore, pass the turn. Opponent. Fire Bluff Canal. Well, there's Master of Waves. Play the island. Go. Well, I mean, we got a plan. Can we execute? We even have the Mystic Reflection. If we can get our opponent tapped down, we might be able to pull off the full combo. Sanctum of Ugin, opponent. Passing. Yeah, we'll just Omen. If our opponent wants to counter that, we're pretty okay with that. Another Omen and an Oracle. Let's go Oracle bottom, Omen top, untap, Gadwick. Well, play the Mimic. Actually, maybe we need to play the Island. I think we play the Island because this potentially lets us, if our opponent plays like Rekindling Phoenix, we can Spectral Sailor and Mystic Reflection it. Even though that does mean the combo would be offline. Opponent passing. They're playing it safe. Well, Omen of the Sea. Go digging. Well, bottom and top. We'll keep 1 Ether Gust. Untap. Play Glasspool Mimic. Go. I mean, I guess we are also playing it pretty safe and slow. Opponent. Tap land. Well, let's run out of Spectral Sailor. Opponent stomps. Sure. Then we will run out of Spectral Sail. Mystic Dispute. Okay. Well, untap, play the land. Gadwick X2. Oh, alright, so opponent just has all the Mystic Disputes. But we just made our opponent spend a lot of counters. Like, our opponent spent a lot of their interaction that turn. They run out of Bone Crusher, that's fine. We would like to find a Mystic Dispute. That would be sweet. Well, foretell Mystic Reflection, pass the turn. I mean, that's a challenge. Can we find a way to resolve our Master of Waves through our opponent's counters? Opponent combat attacks. We'll take it for now. Down to 60. Chart a course. Awkward, but sure. How can we get our opponent to tap out? Sulfur Falls. Well, let's Ether Gust. Ha! Okay, that's all we wanted. That's it. Sure, that's fine. That's fine. Well, this should be good. So we get to play a land. We get to Master of Waves. And then Mystic Reflection. Pass the turn. Watch us get wrecked by Devoid. Of all the mechanics in the world that can wreck us, watch it be Devoid. Oh my god, it's really happening. Brutal. Alright, well, sure. Yeah, well, I mean, Devoid was relevant for the first time in its history. It did a thing. Opponent's going to emerge something. Well, we will float our mana. Opponent, sack Sanctum of Ugin, gets a Deep Fiend, does not sack Sanctum of Ugin. Elder Deep Fiend resolves. We will bounce it. And then I guess we might as well scry bottom and top. Pass the turn. Kozilek's return of all the cards to get us. Who would have guessed? Opponent plays a land, fires up a fumarole, goes attacking, hits us, down to 6. We draw an island. Yeah. The problem is we know there's another Deep Fiend and there's Kozilek's return in the graveyard, so yeah, alright. Well, that is awkward. Oh, who would have thought that Devoid would actually be relevant text on a Magic card? Well, let's bring in the Erasure. Go down an Ether Gust. Run it like that. Oh, so we pulled off the combo. Man, Pioneer's weird. Pioneer is like technically the one format we could potentially get got by by Kozilek's return. Well, alright, I guess we keep this. I think the bigger problem that game is our opponent managed to draw all their Mystic Disputes. Opponent plays a land. Passes. Well, we'll play a land. We'll Mystic Reflection. Yeah. And we didn't draw any Nykthoses. Nykthos is really an important card to this deck. Opponent plays a tap land. Passes. Well, play the land, and we are going to cast a not super exciting Gadwick. Actually not exciting at all, but it is a 3/3 for 3. And we have another one in hand, so opponent plays a land. Well, you just got a handful of removal spells. Alright, so opponent, handful of removal spells. These Mystic Reflections are not looking exciting at the moment. Well, Gadwick number 2, draw a card this time. Pass the turn. Opponent. Is it Charm? Looting for lands. Discards 2 Flamewake Phoenixes, but does not hit a land. Alright, well, opponent passes. We draw. Brazen Borrower. Well, go to combat. Attack ya. Down to 17. Pass the turn. Opponent. Wow, are they just passing? Alright, untap. Ooh, alright, there's a Nykthos. That we like. Go to combat. Attack ya. Opponent bounces Gadwick. Alright, yeah. I don't think we can recast it yet because of Mystic Dispute, which our opponent has proven themselves very good at drawing. Alright, opponent hits a tap land. Well, we will Harbinger of Tides. Untap. Play the island. Go to combat. Attack you. Down to 17. Pass the turn. Oh, we need to find one of our own counters, I think. Opponent runs out Brazen Bar. Sure. Yeah, it's fine. So opponent gets a Brazen Bar. We're not big enough to get back the Flame Wakes. Opponent. Ooh, hitting their land drops. Goes to combat. Attacks. Yeah, down to 17. Champion of Wits. Yeah, let's Mystic Reflection on Harbinger. Opponent, Harbinger. Bounces Harbinger. Well, we will Harbinger. Bounce Brazen Bar. Untap. Well, play Omen of the Sea. Go dig it. Bottom. Well, pass the turn. We're just not very good at finding counters. We have the combo set up. The problem is, we know our opponent has that Devoid spell, and we have not been able to find a way to protect the combo. So I feel like running it out just doesn't do a whole lot. Opponent has a Magma Spray. Okay. Yep. Goes to combat. Attacks. We'll take it down to 50. Well, we will run out a Brazen Borrower. Opponent bounces Brazen Borrower. We untap, play a land. Well, I think this is as good a time as any for a Master of Waves. Master of Waves. Yeah, that's it. No combo. Pass the turn. Opponent. Like, maybe this will get the sweeper out of our opponent's hand. That would be ideal. Or maybe at some point they start casting things to try to get back Flamewake Phoenixes. Opponent. Combat. Attacks. Well, we will kill a Harbinger. Yep. So Champion of Wits in the graveyard now. Opponent runs out a Bone Crusher Giant. You know what? I think we kill it. Being able to target a 0/1 elemental is actually pretty cute. Ooh. Oh, we got him to tap out. Okay, so, well, new plan, Mystic Reflection. We lose the token, that's 5. Opponent loses the Bone Crusher. We untap. Now we get to Gadwick to draw 4, which is a pretty big deal. Well, those were not a very good 4, were they? Play the tap land, or play the land, go to combat, hit ya. Wow, we drew all lands. We drew 100% lands. Opponent. All right, what's next, opponent? I guess these Glasspool Mimics are kind of nice. Oh my goodness, opponent scoops it up. Cannot beat it, and we ground him out. Okay, well, opponent got us with Devoid game in game 2, but we got to see the Blue Devotion power. I think there's going to be a lot of red removal decks, and Master Waves, pretty good against him. All right, sweet, sweet. All right, much brew about nothing time. Pioneer back on the menu. We are mono blue devotioning. So one of the potential issues with with Pioneer leagues at the moment is even though the number of players in the league has increased over the past couple of days, it's still not especially high. Ooh, opponent. Oh boy, it's the sack deck. So it is possible to, you know, I think we don't want to get Priest. All right, let's pass the turn. If our opponent plays a Priest, I think we want to turn it into Cauldron Familiar. Even though it means spending our Mystic Reflection, I think it's still worth it because Priest is really good. Dreadhorde Butcher. That's actually fine because we can just get that with this Trickster. All right, opponent thinking about attacking, so we will Trickster. Target Butcher. Make it lose its ability. Block it, kill it. All right, that was not a bad turn. Play the island, go to combat, hit ya. Down to 17 past the turn. All right, no witches ovens. No witches ovens, please. Also, card draw. We would like some card draw. Ooh, untap. Interesting. Mayhem Devil. I think that would be better as a cat. Cauldron Familiar Part 2. Oh my god, more lands. All right, go to combat. Attack. Yeah, I think if our opponent wants to double block and kill a okay. Yeah, I think we're okay with that. Sure. I'll pass the turn. Come on, Gadwick. Come on, Gadwick. Come on, Master of Flames. Please, please, double please. Opponent. I actually don't know if this is a hard matchup or not. It probably is. Because I expect they have ways to kill Master of Waves. Alright, opponent has just cats for days. Sure. And Fabled Passage, and cracks it. Yeah. Midnight. Opponent. Combat. Passes. I'll play the land past the turn. Opponent. Really need some card draw. We need a Gadwick. Midnight Reaper Part 2. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks. Well, we will cast Harbinger of Tides. Bounce Midnight Reaper. Cast Merfolk Trickster. Turn off Midnight Reaper. Kill the cat. Opponent doesn't get to draw. Untap. Well, alright. I mean, I guess we can just keep doing this forever. Go to combat. Hit ya. Harbinger of Tides. Bounce Midnight Reaper. Like, maybe this will be enough. Maybe we could just get this weird 2-drop tempo win without drawing any extra cards, or Master, or Nykthos, or Gadwick. Like, maybe the bad cards will be good enough. I mean, they're not bad cards, but they're not our big payoffs. They're just our, like, filler cards. But right now, they're kind of giving us a tempo win, and we can even Glasspool Mimic something to get in more damage. All right, opponent finds a Mayhem Devil, yeah, and, well, I mean, I think we go for it. Glasspool Mimic, copy Trickster, tap down Mayhem Devil, go to combat, attack you. Glasspool Mimic, copy Harbinger, bounce it, yes. All right! The flood of tutus. I feel like that's probably gonna get it done, and it does. Okay, that was a weird draw. We drew only Harbinger of Tides, Tricksters, and Clones, but apparently Harbinger of Tides, Tricksters, and Clones can be enough sometime. Okay, what do we do about this deck, though? I actually think this is a tough matchup in general. So we probably want, like, Ether Gust. Maybe we go Ether Gust, Ashiok's Erasure. Do we cut ley line of anticipation is the question. All right, let's go down one Baron, go down one Thassa's Oracle, go down one Spectral Sailor, and one ley line. That might be a horrible plan, but we're going to try it. All right, we're on the draw for game number 2. Ooh, this hand has a Nykthos, which is sweet. All right. This is fine. And Tricksters aren't bad. And we don't have any good cards for our opponent to Thoughtseize, so... none of our payoffs at the moment. Swamp for our opponent. And Thoughtseize. Sure. Yeah, I mean, this hand, pretty Thoughtseize proof. I guess Spectral Sailor might actually be the card we want most to have some card draw, because we don't have any other card draw at the moment, but fancy Thoughtseize. Should be able to make your opponent discard 2 cards if you have the fancy Thoughtseize. Fade to win, opponent. Bad news is that Mayhem Devil's going to be pretty good against this hand. Another Thoughtseize. All right. Well, opponent's all in on the Thoughtseize plan. Takes a Trickster and another Swamp and a Cat. Well, all right. Come on, please no Mayhem Devil. Well, Ether Gust is not bad. Ether Gust at least can delay a Mayhem Devil, which is something. Opponent. Opponent's also down to 16 thanks to Midnight Reaper. Sure. Goes attacking. Well, oh no. Oh dear, that was not ideal. We wanted to run out that Spectral Sailor. Okay, well, get in and hit ya. That was a bit of a misclick. You can punt me for that if you desire. Play Glasspool Mimic, go. Yeah, that was a little bit of a misclick. We did intend to run out the Spectral Sailor. It's not the end of the world, but also not optimal. Especially with Nykthos in hand, blue mana symbols have value, even if the creatures are medium. Midnight Reaper. Okay, that's fine. Well, we'll probably just end up bouncing a Midnight Reaper here. Yeah, so let's Brazen Borrower. Bounce the Reaper that can attack. Untap. Ooh, opponent has a land too. All right. Well, we will play the Nykthos, go to combat, hit ya. Down to 14. So opponent has Midnight Reaper and 1 unknown card in hand, and we're kind of winning the race at the moment. And if we can get enough damage, those Midnight Reapers could be a detriment rather than a upside. All right, Midnight Reaper, sure. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks. Well, we will run out Brazen Borrower, run out Spectral Sailor, untap, play the land. Yeah, let's Omen. See what we hit. Omen of the Sea. Gadwick. Well, bottom and top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, go to combat, attack ya. Down to 9. I think we're going to wait one more turn for Gadwick. Next turn, we can hopefully Gadwick and leave up Ether Gust, or cast things that we draw to tap down our opponent's team, and that might be enough to let us pick up this win. If we can get our opponent low enough, they can't let their creatures die, or they will die as a result. Opponent, combat. Hits us with everything. 7, down to 6. Yup. Yeah, what do you got, opponent? Mayhem Devil. Well, we will definitely... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we will just Ether Gust that. Opponent to the bottom. All right, so we untap. Ooh, Erasure. Huh. No, Gadwick. X2. Draw 2. Ooh, Harbinger. Okay, but we can't flash it. Well, so I think we need to Harbinger, tap whatever, bounce a door, hit ya for 4. I think we need to leave back a Spectral Sailor, purely because... if they can claim the Firstborn Petty Thief, that could be a problem. Like, claim the Firstborn, or on our Brazen Borrower, hit us and stomp us or something. Otherwise, I feel like we should win this turn. Opponent needs something very good here. I don't think just like a Mayhem Devil does it. Priest doesn't do it. A bunch of burn spells, maybe. Witch's Oven, maybe? No, I don't even know if that does it. Because they're going to lose life to the Midnight Reaper, so it evens out the life gain from the cat. They need like a sweeper, I think. I mean, this has went pretty well, surprisingly well. Opponent. Wow, okay. Claim the Firstborn on the Brazen Borrower. We did play around this possibility. Combat. Opponent. What do we... Mayhem Devil, there's no sack outlet. Well, let's just block Midnight Reaper. We go to 3. Opponent draws a card, goes to 4. It's a bit of a super close game. And opponent scoops it up. Oh, all right. Yeah? Well, so far, Pioneer's better to Sweet Spot. Like, we've played some really close, interesting games. Yeah, maybe they fixed it. They might have fixed it. Sweet. Well, that went well. We didn't combo off or anything, but... we got there with little blue things. Nice. All right, much ado about nothing time. We are pioneering this week. Checking out our new post-ban format, playing some Mono Blue Devotion with combos, of course, some Mystic Reflection shenanigans, and yeah, that sounds pretty good. We got blue mana symbols, we got a Nykthos, we got the Mystic Reflection if we get to it. See what our opponent's up to. Oh boy. All right, might be a control deck. We shall see. Well, island and go. Opponent. Oh, so it gotta be like Niv, right? Gotta be a Niv deck. Well, play Spectral Sailor. Untap. Land. Thassasaur. Go diggin'. Take a... Do we actually want these at all? Do we want any of these? I'm not sure that we do. I mean, Oracle, I guess, is double mana symbols. Yeah, we'll take Trickster. Trickster's fine. Go to combat. Hit ya for 1. If we can Mystic Reflection and Niv, that would be spectacular. Found it down to 19. Untaps. Or an Omnath. Turning an Omnath into something useless. Grow Spiral. Mystic Reflection is actually a sweet card. It does some hilarious things. Fabled Passage. Potent. Overgrown Tomb. Untap down to 17. Crag's Fable Passage at the beginning of combat for some reason. More Growth Spirals. All right, save us Mystic Reflection. You are our only hope. Nykthos. Smack you for a big 2. Pass the turn. White, red, green, black, blue. Oh man, come on, let us turn this Niv into a 1/1. Tolsimer. Well, I mean, maybe this is fine. Maybe we're better off just bouncing the wolf. When it enters the battlefield, make a 3/3 legendary wolf. When a wolf enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life, and it fights one creature you don't control. Yeah, all right, sure. So opponent gets a wolf. The wolf wants to fight, but it will get borrowed. We untap. Go to combat, hit you for 1. Would like more mana. The mana pinch is a little bit annoying. I guess if we can get more blue mana symbols on the battlefield, that can also do it. Opponent. Nath. Ooh, okay. Well, actually... So opponent gets to draw a card. I'm afraid to target our stuff, because if they kill it, then we lose... Alright, sure. Opponent gets Omnath. We'll deal with it later, hopefully. Draws a card. Yeah, Omnath was a card that it seemed possible it could end up getting banned, but managed to dodge. Of course. Manages to find the fetch land after all. Well, I wonder if Omnath is still just too good. That was a card that was on my list of cards to ban for the format. I can see the argument that like, oh, there's no Uro anymore, but... broken is broken, and you can see that Omnath is still pretty broken. So maybe Wizards should have gotten rid of that too. Discards a fetch land. Opponent. Pass it. Hitting us. Yeah. Well, down to 17. Now we have to deal with a Nahiri too, which is awkward. Well, we will Brazen Borrow. 2 cards in hand for our opponent. One of them is a removal spell. Abrupt Decay. Oh, this mana pitch is wrecking us. It is wrecking us. Oh, I don't even know what we do about this. Wow, I guess we just have to... Oh man, that's so not good. Yeah, this is bad in a whole bunch of ways. Many ways. Yeah, I guess we just have to pass the turn. Very uncomfortable with where we're at the moment. Yeah, you're go, opponent. Well, we will Trickster. Tap down the Omnath, make it lose its abilities. Yeah! I don't know about this. Let's leave Omnath unbanned plan. So far we've played 2 really interesting matches, and now we've played a match where it kind of feels like our opponents played 1 relevant card, and that card is going to win them the game. Opponent. Wow, they also drew the Niv. Well, I mean, that's the power of Omnath, is it lets you play a bunch of stuff, and then you get to draw a bunch of cards, and those cards are going to find you what you need. Opponent. Bring to light. Dreadbore. Yeah, those are good ones. Yeah, well, we'll see. Opponent kills our stuff, and yeah, I mean, this one's just, it's over. Hits us. Sure. Well, yeah. Wizards banned a lot of things, but they did not ban everything. Some interesting omissions floating around. Well, all right, so we'll bring in some counters because, as you saw, our opponent is playing some cards that really need to be answered before they hit the battlefield, or else they kind of just win. All right, so we'll go down the ley lines, which get exiled by Nahiri, which comes down for free off Omnath. We will, we'll go down a Harbinger of Tides. And we'll go down a Spectral Sailor, run it like that. Well, we'll keep Island, go. Spectral Sailor. Well, play an Island, play a Thassa's Oracle. Take a Omen of the Sea. Hit you for 1. Pass the turn. Opponent. Gonna need to find some counters at some point. Opponent has a Fatal Push. Yeah. And more tap lands. Opponent passes. Well, let's Omen of the Sea. Put on top, put on top. Play the island, hit you for 1. Pass the turn. Gadway could be good eventually. Glacial Fortress and a Dreadbur. So that's actually a problem because it means we can't stop an Omnath next turn. Well, play Nykthos. Play a Sad Gadwig. Oh man, is this going to end up getting countered too? All right, does not get countered at least. Oh, Mystic Dispute! That could be good in the future, but is there a future? Or are we buried underneath Omnath? Opponent. More Dreadbores, they just keep coming. And a tap lad, opponent passing. Well, play the Mimic as a land. Pass the turn. We would like to find another Gadwick, I think. Or even another Spectral Sailor would be fine. Opponent. Bring to light. Well, we will counter that. And Omen of the Sea. I mean, I guess we just go for it, right? Do we just combo? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I mean, let's go for it. If they have a Wrath, they have a Wrath and we lose, but yeah, all right. Put on top, put on top. Opponent's tapped out. We can make a lethal board. Play the land. Well, all right, Master of Waves. Are you good enough? Master of Waves. Trigger on the stack. Mystic Reflection. Make a bunch of dorks. Pass the turn. Please, no Wrath. No Wrath? No Wrath, please? I mean, we beat targeted removal. A sweeper, though, and we're down to nothing. Oh! Okay. Take that, Omnath. Take that, Omnath. All right. Master of Waves comes through with Mystic Dispute. Try to Omnath us, will ya? Yeah, I mean, I guess that's probably our plan. Is there any way to get in the other Sailor? I guess Erasure is probably bad against... I mean, Aethergust also seems fine. Erasure is also pretty bad against Nahiri. I mean, Aethergust hits Omnath, it hits Niv. Harbinger of Tides feels questionable, because so many of our opponent's things have really strong ETB triggers. The only downside is we are cutting a reasonable amount of blue mana symbols. Alright, try it like that. Opponent's on the play for game number 3. Yeah, I mean, we'll keep it. Not insane, and but it's fine. No Nykthos. Opponent, tap land, and passes. Well, island, go. Opponent, rootbound Greg, passes. Land? Okay, upkeep, grow spiral, sure. Well, play the land, pass the turn. Wouldn't mind getting a creature on the battlefield for Mystic Reflection purposes. Opponent. Wow, passing? No land. All right, well, Omen of the Sea. Oh, boy. Well, we will put on top and put on top. I don't think we're going to pass up our Nykthos. Untap, play an island, pass the turn. Well, now I kind of like where we're at. Opponent missed a land drop, and we have some interaction. Opponent passing. Well, let's Borrower. I mean, I'm expecting it to die, but still worth it. Yeah, opponent has Abrupt Decay. Sure. I wish we could leave up a count. Yeah, let's pass the turn. You know what? Actually, let's pass. We might actually sack Omen of the Sea to Scry here. Opponent. All right, finds a land. And passing. Well, yeah, let's give up this blue mana symbol. Scry. Bottom. Untap. Well, play Glasspool Shore. Go. Opponent. Passage. This is where late line would actually be sweet. So we could leave up our mana and like flashing Gadwigs and whatnot. Opponent. Cracks Fable Passage. Snow covered island. Omnath. Yeah, let's just Aethergust it? Yeah, let's Aethergust it. Opponent. Passes. Ooh, how greedy are we? That is the question. I think the answer is fairly. Let's Gadwig, X1. Draw a card. Pass the turn. So this still lets us leave up Mystic Dispute. So if our opponent just recasts Omnath, we do get to counter it. Ooh, Tolsimer. That's annoying. Yeah, we are not hoping for our opponent to have Tolsimer in hand, that's for sure. Alright, manages to kill our Gadwig. Loses our Wolf. Well, Spectral Sailor's decent. Run out Spectral Sailor. Untap. Land. Ooh. Wow. How do we do this? All right, go to combat attack. We're going to play it a little slow. I mean, we have the card advantage engine going. Our opponent does not. They only have a Tolsimer on the battlefield. I feel like as long as we leave up our interaction, we're in a pretty good spot at the moment. We can keep the Omnath from coming down. We can start increasing our blue mana symbols, and then hopefully we can play a Master Waves that's good enough to just win the game, essentially. Opponent. Omnath. We will dispute it. And Glacial Fortress for our opponent. Hits us. Sure. Well, let's Omen of the Sea. You gonna spend your counter on Omen of the Sea? All right. Omen of the Sea resolves. Bottom and bottom. Well, another Master Waves. Opponent Fatal pushes. Sure. Well, we untap. We draw. Brazen. Now let's Master of Waves. A sad little Master of Waves, but no combo, no combo. Just make a couple elementals, leave up our counter, pass the turn. This is also somewhat helpful because if our opponent taps out for something big, we could use our Mystic Dispute to just turn it into an elemental and win that way. That is another possibility. What do you got about it? What do you got? Man, if we could get to the point where we could combo with Master of Waves and leave up our Wizard's Retort, we'd probably just go for it. Still a couple turns away from that. If we can get some more blue mana symbols, we'd make it happen. Opponent. Niv. Do we spend our counter? Leaving up this blue makes me think they have Mystic Dispute, but we really don't want our opponent to just draw a million cards. Yeah, let's Mystic Reflection. Got him! Whew! Whew! Enjoy that. Enjoy that nice little 0-1. Maybe Mystic Dispute's just good. I'll play the land. Play Master of Waves, number 2. Make some more elementals. Grow the elementals. Go attacking. Well, this is it. This is the game. It all comes down to this. We still have a counter up. Opponent gonna block. Well, we'll see if our opponent can go Wrath plus counter. If those are the cards in their hand, they can get out of it. But just Wrath doesn't do it. So not the most explosive Master of Waves game, but not bad. Boot it. Tap in some mana. Bring to light with 4 colors. So they're definitely getting a Wrath. Well, I mean, yeah, counter it. Attempt to. Whew. Okay. Dodge the Wrath. Untap. Draw an island. Well, go to combat. Hit you with everything. Opponent Fatal pushes a token. 1 card in hand. Drops to 6. Ooh, we'll play the island, pass the turn. Oh my goodness. What does our opponent have? They need another Wrath. And even if they do, we got the Brazen Borrower to maybe close it out over the course of a couple turns. Opponent, Deafening Clarion. I mean, that helps our opponent, but it doesn't save him. Because Master's got pro red. Opponent, passing. I mean, we got to go for lethal, right? We have to. We have to. Well, sack Omen of the Sea. Actually, let's just Brazen Borrower. Cast Brazen Borrower. Omen of the Sea. Opponent's last card. Oh my god, it's Cycle Triome. We got him! We got him! Put on top, put on top! Game! Oh, take it out, Omnath! Go to combat. Attack ya! We draw a counter if we need to. Ooh, boy. All right. And opponent gives us a good luck at our next one, and we take down the last remaining broken card in the format. I don't know. Maybe Omnath's fine now. Well, I mean, we took him down. Our opponent, they had reasonable hands and still good enough. Maybe this deck's just good. Maybe it's just good. Sweet, sweet. All right. Oh my god, so many ley lines. Much about nothing time. We are playing Leyline Tron in Pioneer. We're actually going to keep this. If we can draw Nykthos, this hand is absurd. If we don't draw Nykthos, it's pretty bad. Control. Well, having Flash is good against Troll. Land, go. All right, Nykthos, Nykthos, Nykthos. Nykthos would be so insane. Opponent passes. Well, play the land. Foretell, go. Opponent. Frantic Inventory, draws a card. Castle Ardenvale, passes. Nykthos. Well, Island, go. Boot Hathaway, passes. Nykthos, Island. All right, go. I mean, we could just, like, run out a dork to start attacking. Azorius Charm draws a card. Opponent, untaps. Island. Well, probably gonna run out this Harbinger of Tides. So at least we have something that can attack. Nykthos. All right, Island. Well, go to combat. Attack. Pass the turn. Well, I guess if our opponent taps down. Oh, dear. All right, draws 2. Cycle Sensor. Untaps. 8 cards in hand. Hollowed Fountain. Tapped. Oh, I don't want to just run out Gadwick and get it countered. Spectral Sailor would be sweet. Well, go to combat. Attack you. Hit ya. Down to 16 past the turn. Opponent. Field of Ruin. Well, that's actually pretty good against Nykthos. Opponent. Passing. Oh, wait. Teferi. Awkward. Well, we will bounce Teferi. Opponent counters. Well, we will bounce to... Do we bounce Teferi or try to attack and kill it? Well, all right. Let's bounce Teferi. Opponent untaps. Yeah. I'll go to combat. Attack ya. Opponent goes to 14. We will pass. Have not been having much luck finding a window to resolve this Gadwick. Opponent, Field of Ruin number 2. Foretells. Foretells again. Well, we will Omen of the Sea. So many counters. Well, we will Brazen Borrower. Untap. Go to combat. Hit ya. Pass the turn. Opponent. Well, alright. This is as good as it gets. So we get to kind of resolve a Gadwick. I mean, we do get to resolve a Gadwick, but we know there's a Teferi, and we know our opponent theoretically has Wraths. Because if you're playing blue-white control, you're definitely playing a bunch of Wraths. So I still don't feel very good about where we're at, honestly. Opponent. It's a Doomscar. Supreme Verdict. Yeah. And more foretelling. All right. Opponent passes. I'll play the land. I feel like this matchup should improve some once we get to bring in counter spells. Opponent. Land. Teferi. Yeah. I think we're going to concede shortly here. Opponent. Well, I mean, we're going to cast a Gadwick. If it gets countered, then we're going to scoop, because then we're essentially just Teferi locked. Yeah, sure. Okay, so that felt really tough. We also had a very awkward hand. But now we get to bring in 6 counters. We get to go down stuff that is just really bad, like Harbinger of the Tides. And I guess Trickster. Like, losing the blue mana symbols hurt, but those cards just don't do anything. And try it like that. Yeah, this might be a tough matchup. Might be a tricky one. Opponent just has so much interaction. We'll see. Getting the sideboard counter should help, but the amount of counters is still, oh dear. Well, we can't keep that. That has a lot of cards we want, but oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, well, now I guess we're seeing the drawback of Nykthos's. Okay. Well, we'll keep on 5. We will put a Master of Waves and a Thassa's Oracle to the bottom. Put a ley line into play. Well, alright. Land go. As far as 5-card openers go, this is not the worst. Opponent plays a tap land. Passes. I'll play an island. Play Thassa's Oracle. Why our opponent's tapped out. None of those cards are helpful, so we pass. We need card draw. We need Gadwick or Spectral Sailor, and we need to somehow resolve it. Down to 2 cards in hand is concerning. Opponent, Glacial Fortress. Starts foretelling. Gadwick? Island. Oh boy. Alright, go to combat. Attack. Hit ya. 19. Opponent plays a land. Well, at least there's no Teferi Time Raveler anymore. Opponent foretells. I'll play the land. Go attacking. Hit ya. Pass the turn. Island. Foretell number 3. Ugh. Yeah. Opponent passes. Oh no. Island. Again. They never stop. Oh boy. This does not seem like a way to beat blue-white control. Does not seem like the way to get the job done here. Opponent takes 1. We pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Castle Mattress. Search for his Kanta. And show us Island. I mean, Gadwick is great. The problem is our opponent has so many counters that we're never going to resolve it. That is the issue. Opponent takes their beats. Well, we pass the turn. Please tap down. Please tap out. Cantrip. All right. Is Kanta doing his Kanti things. I mean, I assume our opponent has like several counters foretold. Plays a land. Opponent passes. I mean, if we could miraculously resolve this Gadwick. I do like Spectral Sailor. I mean, is it going to resolve? Probably not. But those are cards we want. Gadwick and Spectral Sailor. Hit ya. Pass the turn. Scry. Scry with that Castle Ventress. Improve your draws, opponent. Behold the Multiverse. Well, Spectral Sailor resolves. Alright, well, sure. I mean, this does give us a card draw engine. Opponent draws some cards. Frantic inventory. Well, okay. Sure, draws a card. Opponent untaps. Is Kanta. Getting close to flipping. Leaves it on top. Hollowed Fountain. Untapped. Has a Doomscar. Well, let's counter it. Opponent has saw it coming. Well, we will draw a card. Board Wrathed. Opponent. Pass it. Oh, wait. Are we foretelling? All right, well, this does mean it's Gadwick time. Gadwick, refuel, pass the turn. Okay, we're fighting the good fight. Our opponent finally tapped out. This is Kanta is concerning. It's getting close to flipping. Mills a veto. Can we beat it? Oh my god, Frantic Inventory draws 2. The snowball. Opponent follows up with... Oh, not Teferi. Not Teferi. Please no. Okay, Declaration in Stone. Well, at least it's not Teferi. Opponent passes. Now, let's Omen of the Sea. Bottom, top. Omen of the Sea. Bottom. Pass the turn. I mean, we're trying. This is Kanta's gonna flip, though. Technically, we are ahead on cards at the moment, but we'll see. Iskanta does its thing. Opponent passing, maybe. Teferi. I wish we could Mystic Reflection it, but alright, there's a Teferi. Yeah. Untap land. Untaps more lands. Well, we will. Thassa's Oracle. Another counter. Spectral Sailor. How do we beat a Teferi, though? Like, how do we beat a Teferi? Backed by a million Wraths. Is it even possible? Opponent passes. Omen of the Sea. I'll go to combat. Attack Teferi. Omen of the Sea. Bottom. Oh my god. Alright, well, Foretell, go. Every Mystic Reflection, but every Mystic Reflection is not especially helpful at the moment. Opponent. Frantic Inventory. Oh man. That card snowball is so hard when you run well. Yeah, opponent's got all the copies at the top. Back to 7 cards in. Oh my god, there goes the ley line. Oh, yeah. Well, this one might be what they call over. Make some mana, draw a card. Yeah, this does not feel like a great matchup for us. Go to combat. Attack Teferi. Opponent. I'm sure they have a plan for this. They drew many cards. Okay, I'll play Barret. Opponent. Well, we get to bounce Teferi temporarily. Pass the turn. So we get to try to Ashiok's Erasure it. Although, I don't have a lot of faith. Our opponent just has so many counters that I don't feel like we will actually resolve anything relevant. Censor for our opponent. All right, untaps. Oh, wait. Cycles the censor. Untaps. Land. Okay. I mean, we gotta try. These Mystic Reflections are looking pretty awkward. Teferi, well, I mean, yeah. Add mana. Ashiok's Erasure. Do we have another one? The answer appears to be yes. It's always yes. All right, so opponent, another counter. I mean, we're running them out of Saw It Comings. They've cast almost every single one, so eventually, maybe they will run out of stuff. I don't think that's likely. About it. Cast a Doomscar, because why not? Teferi untaps. Well, we will replay Leyline. It resolves. Well, we passed the turn, but there's still an opponent. Untaps. Castle Ardenvale. Gonna tuck the Leyline again. Well, play Spectral Sailor. Opponent puts the Leyline back in our deck. We draw a card. Opponent. Behold the Multiverse. I mean, it's cool to see all the Foretell stuff. It might just be a Dirty Teferi deck, but it is a Dirty Teferi deck with new cards. So, I guess half credit for that. Opponent, yeah. Cast out to get the Spectral Sailor. And yeah, I mean, I think we've reached the end. We draw Glasspool Mimic. Well, play the land. This is it. This is a game. We will play Master of Waves. We will Mystic Reflection Master of Waves. We will make a bunch of dorks. They will make a bunch of friends. And then we will see if our opponent has the answer. Yep. Well, that's what they call a lethal board in the biz. But we've seen Doomscars for days. We've seen Declaration in Stone. So does the lethal board make it a turn? Would be nice if we could have done it with Flash, but Teferi continually bouncing our Leyline has actually been kind of relevant here. Teferi's still quite the card. Yeah, Doomscar, and we will scoop it up. Yeah, that feels like a tough one. That feels like a matchup that our deck is unlikely to win with any consistency. That's for sure. Well, all right, got to see some Foretell stuff go off at least. That's sweet. All right, much brew about nothing time. We are pioneering with... Ooh, we're up against Luris. All right, we are pioneering with Mono Blue Devotion with some Wombo combos thrown in. So Luris looks like Burn. Well, this will be interesting. Oh, all right, it's like a Bogglesy style. A Bogglesy style deck. Well, Harbinger Tides might be good. Battlefield George and 10th District Legionnaire. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks. Well, we will Spectral Sailor. Take our beats. Down to 17. Well, play the land. Harbinger. Bounce 10th District Legionnaire. Oh, it's a feather deck? It looks like feather. Well, it can't be feather, right? It can't be feather because they have Luris as a companion. So I guess it's just heroic. Non-feather heroic. Opponent. Dreadhorde Arcanist. And passes. Go to combat. Attack. Little worried about this Arcanist. Play the island. Pass the turn. Yeah, if our opponent can, like, Burn Spell, Arcanist Burn Spell, that's pretty frightening. Opponent Ooh, all right. No, okay. Well, now we get to Omen of the Sea. This Nykthos is going to be helpful. We do not need more lands. Bottom and bottom. Well, okay. Maybe we need a little more land still. Our deck consists another Spectral Sailor. Opponent. Boros charms our face. Sure. We untap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play Nykthos. Make some mana. Actually, we gotta do this upkeep, don't we? Yeah. Go to combat. Attack with the Spectral Sailors. And we'll just pass. We'll pass and see what our opponent does. We can actually cast everything at instant speed. Opponent going to gird for battle. Okay. Goes to combat. We will Trickster. Tap down Arcanist. Opponent has a God's... Alright. Well, so our opponent's gonna have a cute little turn. Goes to combat. Attacks. Gonna flashback Boros to hit us for 4. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Ooh. So we could die to another Boros charm if we don't block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, alright. So I guess we gotta block. Actually, let's block with Harbinger. Down to 7. Opponent passes. Well, now we get to... Oh, do we just combo? So if we play Harbinger, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Oh my goodness. Okay. We will Harbinger of Tides. Bounce Arcanist. Yes. Play the land. Nykthos. Make a bit of mana. Master of Waves. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Master of Waves. Oh, opponent thinks it's bad already. Oh, they didn't even wait. They didn't even wait to see all of them. We're going to make so many Master of Waves. All right. We overcame. We overcame the aggro. So against this deck, all right, how do we keep up with what our opponent's doing? Our bounce spells are helpful. Leyline's probably not. Bubble Snare gets beaten by the protection spell, which is awkward. Maybe Bubble Snare's just not good enough. that could be possible. Drake maybe? Let's bring in the Drakes. Go down Leylines and go down 1 Oracle. Yeah, right like that. Opponent's on the play. We just got to get one of two, and we finish with a 4-1 with Mono Blue Devotion. I will say, Pioneer seems like it's in a sweet place at the moment. Ooh. All right, 0 lands. Well, kind of 1 land, but not enough. We will mulligan. Well, all right, this will keep. Land to the bottom. Well, we'll see. See how fast our opponent's start is. Opponent, land, and passes. Well, land, go. Opponent, battlefield, George, and Arcanist. Alright, well, Spectral Sailor. Play the land. Go to combat, hit ya. Stop on our opponent's upkeep. Trickster, tap it down. Opponent. Okay, well then. Omen of the Sea, eh? Well, we will hit you for 1. Yeah, those are some big Arcanists. This card is absolutely frightening. Yeah, play the island and pass the turn. Oh, yeah, this is not good. This is not good. Favorite Hoplite joins the party. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks. Flashes back gird for battle. Yeah, Arcanist. Massive. Growing everything. All right, how do we get out of this? Is it possible? I mean, it's probably Master Waves combo. Like, that is probably our out. Well, we will Omen of the Sea. Look for Master of Waves. No Master of Waves. Bottom and bottom. Another island. Omen of the Sea. The question is, how long can we last? 1, 2, 3. So this is +1 mana at the moment. I'll play Nykthos. Pass the turn. Oh, this is a bad spot. This is a bad spot with 2 Arcanists. We gotta hope our opponents just got nothing, and that seems unlikely. Defiant Strike. Grows the Dorks. Gets to flash it back and do it again. And these Dreadhorde Arcanists are just running away with the game. Opponent. Titan Strike. Okay. Sure, that's fine. No worries. We're good. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks. Well, I mean, I don't think there's any chance that we get out of this. We will see. I don't even know if there's a chance that we survive this turn. Opponent's just gone off. Yeah. Arcanist. Cast Defiant Strike. Well, we will make Nykthos mana. Play Omen of the Sea. Bottom and bottom. I mean, Gadwig's a good card, but not a card that saves us here. Titan Strike. Yeah, we're super dead. All right, sure. Well, that was a very impressive start for our opponent's deck. Good God. If there's good news, it's that we're on the play for game number 3, and having 2 Arcanas is not super likely. Goodness. This is like exactly the hand we want, except we have 1 land. Like, this is good, this is good, this is fine, this is good. We gotta ship it though. This hand is worse and still only has 1 land. Oh no. Oh, what a way to lose. Oh no. Why, Magic Gods? Why? Well, Oh, I want the 4-1 finish. What a disappointing way for this to end. That is absolutely brutal. Opponent, Swift Spear. Yeah, we got no cards. We got no cards, got no action. Very little hope involved. Well, play Nykthos past the turn. Opponent, Pathway, Defiant Strike. Would be nice to bounce this, but I feel like the odds of it working out are pretty slim, so sure, opponent gets to draw a card, goes to combat, hits us for 3. Yeah, down to 60. Well, we will Omen of the Sea. Bottom and bottom, gotta hit lands. Well, that is not the land we wanted, but perhaps the one we deserve. Well, play the land, play Harbinger of Tides, try to bounce it. Alright, well, the bounce works for now, pass the turn. Boot it. I mean, I think we can win the late game. The question is there any chance that we make it to the late game? Monastery, Swift Spear for our opponent, and Reckless Rage. Alright, well, there goes our dork. Opponent goes to combat, attacks, hits us. Down to 14. We draw another land. Play the land, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Land, combat, attacks. Ooh, that's it? Okay. Gets a Luris. Well, we will run out Spectral Sailor, untap, go to combat, hit our opponent, play the land, pass the turn, opponent. Thankfully, doesn't have anything they can cast with Luris at the moment. Oh, we really need to find Master Waves. Really. Opponent, cast Luris, gird for battle. Well, we will try to bounce the Swift Spear. Opponent has protection. Yeah, okay. Well, come on deck. Come on deck. There are things you can give us that would be relevant. Please be nice. Opponent, gonna hit us to 9. Yeah, we untap. We draw Spectral Sailor. Well, that was not exactly on our list of things we needed to draw. I'll play Baron. Baron, bounce Luris. Go to combat, get in with Spectral Sailor. Pass the turn. Oh, if we hadn't had to mull to 5, we might be in a good spot this game. But alas, those 1-landers, not a lot of resources. Not a lot of payoffs. Opponent, combat, gets in with Swift Spear. Yeah, I mean, I guess if we're dead, we're dead. Like, what are we supposed to do here? Yeah, I mean, sure. We drop to 7. Opponent. Not sure I'm getting the appeal of Luris in our opponent's deck. Well, Spectral Sailor. Last card. Untap. Well, Trickster is something. That is a card that does things. Go to combat, get in with a Spectral Sailor. Pass the turn, hope for no protection spells from our opponent. I mean, they could also just have a handful of burn spells. Boros Jar. Yeah, down to 3. Opponent untaps. And another one. Yeah, well, unfortunate way for this to end. Omen of the Sea. Yeah, sure. Oh! So we finish with a 3-2 with Mono Blue Devotion. And, I mean, a 3-2 is not horrible. It is a winning record. I'm mostly disappointed because, that last game we ran pretty poorly. We ran poorly enough that we just were not able to really do much that last game. All right, give us something good in our treasure chest. Well, Noble Hierarch, that used to be good. I don't actually know if it's still worth anything. Noble Hierarch has been reprinted about 1 million times now. $3. So, I mean, I guess that's not horrible. It's worth a little bit more than the chest, although it wasn't that long ago that it was like 30 or 40, so well, I mean, I guess that's wrap-up stuff to talk about. Would have been nice to get the 4-1. Would have been nice to not mulligan into oblivion in the last round. But, I mean, pretty good performance, I think. Oh, I wish we'd hit that Master Waves. But, alright, be back with a wrap-up. So, what do we learn this week about Mono Blue Devotion in Pioneer? And what do we learn about Pioneer, our post-ban version of Pioneer? And first off, deck-wise, ended up 3-2 in our league, which is fine. Although I was a little disappointed because we started off 3-0, taking down a Izzet deck, taking down Rakdos Sacrifice, taking down Niv to Light, but then things kind of fell apart at the end. We lost to Control, which feels like a really tough matchup. Like, just in general, so many counters, so many sweepers. That one felt pretty tricky to actually compete with. And then we lost to a heroic deck where, we really could have won that one. It was just kind of like some unfortunate running, and our opponent's deck could get off to really fast starts. So, overall, I think a reasonable performance, and I think that's how I would describe Mono Blue Devotion for Pioneer. I don't think this is like the new tier 0 or anything, but I do think it is a pretty playable deck, and you can get a lot of wins with it. And if you get the right matchups, we could have went 5-0 in a league with the deck. Like, it felt good. Our tricky creatures are good. The combo is actually really, really important to the deck, I think. Like, that was how we won some of our matches, and it adds an entire new dimension to the deck. In the old days, when you play Mono Blue Devotion, you're basically priced into grinding your opponent out on like turn 100, or getting like this Gadwick win, which takes a ton of Nykthoses, a ton of blue mana symbols. Now, thanks to Master Wave's Mystic Reflection, we kind of have this oops, I win combo. And yeah, it doesn't happen every match, and yes, it can get disrupted by certain colors, gets disrupted by Wraths, but it does add an entirely new dimension, especially with Flash from Leyline, which is one of the other reasons Leyline's good in the deck. We can play the Master Mystic Reflection combo in our opponent's end step and be able to just like proceed to win the game. The other thing about Mystic Reflection, and I'm starting to just like this card more and more, but we saw through our league, being able to use it defensively on our opponent's creatures was actually pretty relevant. Like, there was one game that I'm pretty sure we won because we were able to turn a Mayhem Devil against Rakdos Sacrifice into a random Cauldron Familiar, I think it was, if I'm remembering right, rather than having it be an actual Mayhem Devil. And stuff like that is actually a big deal, and it actually does swing matchups in our favor. So it seems weird to use our combo piece as a defensive, like almost pseudo removal spell, but a lot of times that's actually super important to the deck, kind of giving us this weird removal spell in our main deck that we wouldn't otherwise have in our Mono Blue deck. So I think Mono Blue Devotion, it's sweet, it's fun, it's good enough to win a lot of games. I don't think it's tier 1, but I think it's definitely a tier 2 option that if you get the right matchups, if you're good at playing the deck, you can definitely 5-0 a league with it and be competitive with it. As far as Pioneer itself, I think Pioneer's in a pretty good place. It's in mostly a very aggressive place. Yeah, we did see a little bit of control, but I played quite a few Pioneer leagues now since the BNR update, and there's a lot of aggro decks. The good news is it's a very diverse lot of aggro decks. It's not like you're playing one deck over and over. I think Burn-in Vampires are maybe the decks that I play against most often, but really, you play a lot of different decks, and you do see control. There's still like Lotus Field combo. You see a bunch of varieties of like aggro and mid-range style decks. So I think now that the broken cards are mostly out of the format, I think that Pioneer's in a good spot. I mean, we even played against probably the most broken card left, which is Omnath. We played against the Niv to Light deck, and we actually handled them pretty easily. Yes, we got Omnath in one game, but overall, we were able to compete with that deck without Teferi, without Uro. It does make them a lot worse. I think the deck is still playable, but maybe it's fair now, as weird as it sounds, to consider Omnath a fair card. So overall, Mono Blue Devotion, the deck's sweet, it's super fun. If you're looking for something a little janky and different that is still good enough to get a lot of wins, I think it's worth giving a try in Pioneer. In Pioneer itself, be prepared for aggro. I will tell you that, but I think the meta, at least right now, is in a pretty good place. We haven't seen one dominant deck emerge yet. The meta is super diverse. Be ready for aggro decks. Otherwise, all bets are off at this point in Pioneer. So anyway, that's Mono Blue Devotion. That is our new post-ban Pioneer format. Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.